Step out the front door like a ghost into a fog where no one notices the contrast of white on white. And in between the moon and you, angels get a better view of the crumbling difference between wrong and right. Well, I walk in the air between the rain, through myself and back again, where I don't know. Maria says she's dying. Through the door I hear her crying. Why? I don't know. Round here we always stand up straight. Round here something radiates. Maria came from Nashville with a suitcase in her hand. She says she'd like to meet a boy who looks like Elvis. And she walks along the edge of where the ocean meets the land, just like
Round Here from Counting Crows is great. A song, I've loved this for so many years. It's so beautifully sort of atmospheric, the way it comes in nice and softly, and that vocal is so unique, right? It's amazing. It's a really interesting, that arpeggiated guitar part is really interesting, I suppose, from a compositional perspective, because that part is played and then the sort of the organ comes in, changing the chords underneath it, and gives it a completely different sound than if you were just playing it on your own, which I always found, I like stuff like that. So we're going to look at three main parts. So tab on screen, have a look at those. But three main parts is that arpeggiated intro, the chorus chords, and then I suppose that little breakdown in the middle. All right, let's have a look. Okay, the notes themselves, if you're familiar with a minor pentatonic, that's a shape that you can think of there. So your 7th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret on the top 3 strings. Now, I play it with my first 3 fingers there rather than the 4th. I find that pinky's kind of hard to arch up there because that's the tricky part. You need those 2 fingers there, 7th fret, 8th fret, to really arch up so you can have them all ringing out. Okay, so you're thinking this. All right, right hand, I'm doing a downstroke, upstroke. Okay, just watch the picking pattern as well with the right hand with down and up. I'll do it slow. Okay, again, you can of course play it any way that you want, but that's what felt most comfortable to me. Now, the tricky part here is intonation, right? Guitar is one of those instruments that intonation is, it can really be fingernails down a chalkboard. Okay, you have to have your intonation set, otherwise it's going to more sound horrible, right? Okay, and it's these 2 notes here which are giving you an interval of a 5th. And because it's a 5th, beyond the octave, it's such a stable interval. When it's slightly out, you can really notice it, and it's horrible. So you got to get that right. And you also need to make sure, because of the way you're arching your fingers, that second finger isn't pushing up a little bit. That will really make it sound not so nice. So a simple part, but not sort of simple to play. So anyway, that is the first part, and he just does that the whole way through. Okay, let's look at it when the chorus kicks in. Notes and chords here: C, D, E minor, G. That's really a G5 there because I don't hear the first finger there, but G. Okay, the rhythm. He starts off more restrained, and then as the song kicks in, he gives it just a little bit more rhythm with his right hand. It's quite subtle there. It's a really nice guitar sound as well. Okay, that kind of idea there. So just straight down to C. And then there's a mute kind of on the downbeat on the second bar when you move into the D, and it gives you an opportunity to move your fingers, right? You don't need it as much to the E minor, but from the E minor to the G, you got the same thing. Right? You're really emphasizing that upstroke on the G. Okay, and that's it. And as I said, throughout the song, he'll do a more... All right. Okay, last part, really, and it's that breakdown. So we're coming out of the second chorus, and he hits an A to a D. Okay, 2 guitar parts there. So that's that first one. Again, it's in the tab there. So I've done an A to a D, and then just the one note on the G. Don't give it a bend. You're tempted to give it a bend, right? But it's not. So, and then a C to a D. Okay, that's that guitar. The other guitar is doing a wah part. So kick on the wah pedal. And then it's kind of a... right? So a wah pedal rise, it's quite a simple part. Again, think A minor pentatonic. It's just on the A there, 7th fret. I'm playing with my pinky, and I find it that way it's easier to mute the rest of the strings. So I can strum across all 6 strings, but I'm only fretting the note with my pinky there. So, okay. All right, so 7, 5, 7. And then down to 5, which is the G. Second time round, same thing. And it's the upper string. 5 on the G string, and then hammer on up to the 7. But that's it. Some nice sort of simple guitar parts, but some of them are very tricky. Again, that arpeggiated part is really tough with intonation, so keep an eye out on that. All right, Counting Crows round here. Good luck. See you next time.